All right, thank you for tuning in to AFJ's review, live action review actually, of ThunderCats Slithe. Now, one thing I'm going to point out immediately is I've been trying to spell this name properly in everything that I've been doing. And sometimes it's spelled with a Y, as it is on, as it is on Wikipedia, and then it's spelled like this here. Also, I've seen different hashtags with different names. So, it's been a strange hashtag thing for me to try to market that I'm going to do this when this is spelled different. Let's look on the back, spelled that way, so at least that's consistent. So, about a year ago, almost to the day, I saw that Funko was going to be releasing this new line called Savage World. I had sort of seen it. I saw the Mortal Kombat version, and I wasn't like, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat guy. It's okay. I wasn't too fascinated with it. D-Boyd, I'm doing good. How you doing? So I wasn't too fascinated with the line, but then I saw that they were finally going to release the ThunderCats in the He-Man style. And I always thought they should have been in the He-Man style. It just seemed appropriate. They were also going to release the Savage World with movie monsters, and we're talking modern-day movie monsters. Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and Pinhead. So I thought that was, perfect. All right, that makes sense. So truth be told, Wave 1 looked good. Only Mumra and Slithe really fascinated me. Now, Panthro is the man. I mean, you can't deny it. And a little bit of trivia here. Did you know that the voice of Panthro was actually Cliff Huxtable's father on The Cosby Show? Boom! Mind blown. I know, right? Crazy. So, I'm not a big heroes guy. For some reason, I always like the villains. I always think there's not enough villains. Now, thankfully, in this, as Funko has started to release these figures, getting 2 heroes, 2 villains per wave. So that's pretty cool. And no Snarf. There is no Snarf here. All right, this is fantastic. Underscore one chance. Yes, I do think the Turtles would look good in this. I recently learned that Warner Brothers has some rights to the Turtles, so this could happen, considering that Warner Brothers obviously is tied to Funko here. And, Playmates also has Turtles, NECA has Turtles, so maybe this could just be something with size. What we've learned here recently a lot at AFJ is that the inches of a figure, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12, that can dictate who gets what property. So it's pretty crazy. What's up, D-Boyd? Here we go. We're going to open Slithe. Now, like I'd said, I think this was my favorite villain from the line. I really wanted him, and I finally got him in the style that I liked him at. And something else that I noticed, every time I found this guy at GameStop, he was $11.99, where all the others were $12.99. And I asked one of the employees at GameStop why that was, and he said, I don't know, it's just the way it is. So I almost bought Slithe a few times, but recently I picked him up from Entertainment Earth, and I'll post the video in the enhanced YouTube version here of me unpacking Slithe. I was a little nervous because, as you can see, he's a little curved. The package did have a dent in it, but the rest, everything else was fine. And I was going to open him up anyway, and you know what? He looks pretty good, I think, as he is. So here we go. This is always the most painful thing. Now I'm going to go. All right, got my finger in there. Demolish this. So what will happen to Slithe when I'm done? Probably wait for some warmer weather and take a picture of him. And I will admit that he'll probably go on my desk at work because I really like this character. Here we go. All right, so discard this package here. Put that to the side. Does he have that new figure smell? Not really. No, not a new figure smell if you saw me in there. So, let's start immediately with, we have 5 points of articulation. So, Slithe does have pants on. So we have legs, arms, and a head. Head moves pretty good, actually. Damn, he's actually really, really cool. That is a solid figure. I like this already. He's got the He-Man arms and the He-Man legs, so he does the little, he can sit in the attack track. which I think is cool if you have a lot of the older figures. You can actually, bring these characters in. The tail does not move, but what I like about the tail is it actually gives him that balance that a lot of He-Man figures don't have after a while. And they don't have that, oh wait, make that 6 points of articulation. They don't have that swivel thing. Now, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, so I brought my Manny Faces in here today. So they don't do this, which was great back in the day, but all these rubber bands and things made it really difficult to stand. So here's a Manny Faces. Now, he's vintage. He does stand pretty good, but when I picked him up at RetroCon, which is a great convention if you're in the Philadelphia area to go to, it's going to be in September this year, I tried to get, I think I had like 4 of these lined up at one dealer's table and took the one that could stand. So there's Manny Faces right next to Slithe, and you can see the comparison here. It's like they're hanging out, like, hey, buddy, what's up? You can see the comparison, and it's perfect. I mean, the size, the height-wise, they're really, really good. So we're going to put Manny Faces here off to the side. Need him for reference again. So let's get to these weapons. I'm not going to do too much here, because Slithe is pretty straightforward. So Funko did include a nice little bag, and we do get a double-bladed axe, which I think this was Slithe's early weapon. As I was doing a little bit of research on the show, which reminded me of a lot of things, that Mumra pretty much kept the mutants of Plundar pretty much with knives and stones and stuff. They didn't let them have their tech for a while, just to keep them on a short leash. So the hand's a little rough. I would probably get the hairdryer out here. There it goes, and it's in. I just don't want to break it. In case you hadn't noticed or tuned into our last one, I did break something not too long ago. So not a lot of articulation and battle stance here, but as far as a figure that's, I think, mostly made for posing and to be more of a display piece, I think Slithe is really, really cool. Now, Slithe was voiced by Bob Mcfadden on the original 80s cartoon. And what I found hysterical about that was the guy who voiced Slithe also voiced Snarf. So talk about just 2 of the most vile characters that you could do on ThunderCats, the villain and the little sidekick that nobody liked. So there's not much else to say. What cartoon? Wait. There was a cartoon? Yes, there was a cartoon, _ the Spider-Man _19, way back in the day. It was a really good cartoon. It was very Arthurian legend. Lion-O gets the sword of his people and then has to rule the Thundercats, and then they crash land on a new world, which is actually just Earth, and then they have to establish a new society. So it's pretty good. It was a decent show. Again, I've got nothing bad here to say about Slithe. A lot of people, myself included, have seen a lot of the Thundercats broken in the box or the arms popping off. I'm not even going to pull the arms off. But I really like the axe that we have here. This is cool. And I also, I just really think he's a great figure. I mean, look at this. We've got these spikes down his back. We've got dots on his tail. This is as basic of a He-Man Mattel figure as you can get. But yet he's got this, he's got this great little loincloth thing that goes around here. And, I don't need all this to come off. And if you had a He-Man figure that did that, most of the time it disappeared. So I will compare him finally at the end here to a Star Wars Black Series figure. The green of the villains is a complete coincidence. So there we go. Oh, wait. Is he going to stand? Yep, here he is. So that's our review of Slithe from the Funko Savage World figures. He is a solid figure. I do recommend picking him up. And as I said, $11.99 at GameStop. For some reason, Slithe is $1 cheaper than almost all the other figures. So if you are just finding us on Instagram, we do have a Facebook page, corporate and closed. You must answer some questions to join the closed page. We also have Twitter, which we will repost this review on Twitter with some enhanced content, like I'll have the pictures of Bob Mcfadden and so forth. So thank you for tuning in.